Yeah, we're back for another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glasser coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, Inside Sports Fantasy Football, and Game Source. We truly appreciate everyone out there listening to all of our shows. And if you can, please give us that 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Plus, if you can like, share, subscribe, follow, or do anything that you can to support us right here at the Lakers Fast Break, Lakerholics.com, NBA Draft Junkies.com, and of course, the awesome show that you should also hear if you're an NBA draft aficionado, the Locked On NBA Draft Podcast. It is sincerely appreciated. Well, the fun and the suspense and the drama known as the NBA lottery is now over and done with. The dust has settled. Some people are ecstatic at this point in time, although if you're I tell you what, if you're Ben Wallace, you handled it probably as coolly as you can. Just the way he was handling was awesome. The other individuals involved, I think their memes are going all over Twitter right now because some of them were just the picture of frustration. Swin Cash was just that was the best one of all. Swin Cash, the look on her face when she found out she was not going anywhere up on the draft boards was just truly outstanding. Still hilarious.
I don't know what she expected.
I think she was expecting a lot more, that's for sure. But here with me today to talk about the NBA lottery, the winners and the losers, the ups and downs, and obviously the players involved that could be selected within those picks. He's a good man indeed. Plus also, we're going to sprinkle in a little bit of NBA playoff action. Is it Pandemic P or Playoffs P? We'll talk about that coming up as well. It is a good man, though, that's here with me now. You got to catch what he's doing on Mondays and Thursdays on the Locked On NBA Draft podcast. The amazing amount of podcasts he's now on, including Locked On Kings he just made an appearance on. Of course, last week he made, I think, appearance as well on Chad Ford's podcast. I listened to him, or was that the week before?
Man, I've done so many. I know
Chad Ford was on your podcast this week.
Last week. I broke it up into two episodes.
Yeah, two episodes. So that one, because I heard both of them, and it was very interesting just to get all that. And I'll tell you what, just amazing amount of things that he's doing. Catch the Locked On NBA Draft podcast. Of course, NBADraftJunkies.com, where he's updated kind of his mock draft. Just got to change the teams around there.
I'm updating it right now.
Not like you have anything else to do, my friend. Plus,
I'm on pick 10. I'm on pick 10 right now with the commentary, and
I know. That's what
do you think
I was doing last night with my mock draft? I was updating the teams as well. So, and then of course, he has planned to not do just 10, not 20, not 50, but 100 is his goal. Of 100 new prospect videos to show each and every one of you out there on NBA Draft Junkies on YouTube. Hello, Albert Tocaro. Hopefully all is well with you, my friend. But it is Rafael Barlowe from NBA Draft Junkies and, of course, the Locked On NBA Draft podcast. And, of course, I didn't even mention Dash Radio.
Yeah, you don't got to mention them.
Okay. I don't mention them too much when we're on either. So,
are you on Dash now?
I've been on there for a few months, a couple months now. I think Sunday morning.
Okay.
So that's probably why I don't mention very much. But shout out to Dash Radio, anyways.
I see.
How you been, my friends? Exactly. But how you been, my friend?
I'm doing good. It's been super busy to the point where I'm like, I got to take time out to eat, make sure I eat. I know a couple of days ago, I had some snacks of peanuts, and that's all I had all day. But, I'm just trying to reach my goal. I think I got 90 videos left in like 36 or 37 days. And then I'm trying to make sure that I do as many podcast appearances as possible. So I'm just thankful that, how fast things have changed for me over the last the last year. I mean, I started my podcast in May, so it's only been maybe 14 months. And now I'm doing like 2 or 3 podcast appearances a day on top of the ones that I have. So it's been really busy, but I'm thankful for it.
Don't you remember way back when it all started?
I do. And what's funny? I was cranking out, 4 or 5 a week, but they were just my own. So now I'm a guest on different podcasts. But like I said, I enjoy it.
Absolutely. And I'm so happy for your success, my friend. It just well deserved. Nobody works harder in this business than you do. And I just appreciate everything that you do. Obviously, when you've got Chad, giving you a call, wanting you to be a part of his podcast, when he shoots it out there from Hawaii, and obviously him coming on yours, it's a great sign to have all those, obviously the best in NBA draft aficionados there. So glad to hear that your success it's just going and going. But I know. I do that every single time you're on now. So it's just great. It just gets more and more. The resume fills up for you, my friend.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a blessing. And when Chad reached out to me, it was kind of like, dang, like Chad Ford reached out to me. I mean, I knew we were on the same
He's the
platform,
guru.
And he's like the godfather, like the guy that started this whole thing. So it's pretty cool. I guess I can make it official now. But so for Locked On, I'll be doing a live draft show with me and Chad Ford and someone else. But it's pretty cool because it will be here in Dallas, and we're using like one of the ABC affiliate studios, and they're flying Chad here.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
Somebody else from Boston, and they showed me like a picture of what the studio looks like. So I'm looking forward to that. I wanted to do TV, but yeah, so here I am. I'll be doing a live draft show, and a little pressure because I'm gonna have to know, everything when they call the guys. And as of now, I think it's gonna be the full 2 rounds. So I'm gonna have to.
If you're flying Chad Ford out to Dallas, it better be for both rounds.
Well, I'm not flying him out. Somebody else.
Well, I mean.
Yeah. So,
but I remember when they did cover the last time he did it for last year's draft. That was just something he and David Locke did together.
Mm-hmm.
Just I think on social media, Facebook.
Yep.
I remember watching the video of that, and this is something obviously they're taking very seriously. And it sounds like that the whole Locked On Network has taken things more seriously when it comes to the NBA draft.
Yeah. So, I'm thankful to be part of the team. I have, my podcast is on Mondays and Thursdays, so I'm twice a week. And, I look at the stats. I'm competitive. I like to see what the downloads are for me and everyone else. And so, yeah, I mean, it's driving me to, make sure that I continue to try to get the most downloads. And so it's kind of like a healthy competition going. And at the end of the day, if we all step our game up, then it's the best for Locked On and more exposure. And so I think after this draft show with Chad coming in town and all of that and everything that they're doing, I think the Locked On draft, NBA draft, the team is definitely going to get a lot more exposure.
Oh, that's awesome to hear, indeed. But I tell you what, Rafael, I'm just so happy for you. Again, the stuff that you're doing is just amazing. Obviously, as someone who is a subscriber on YouTube to your channel and someone who is also a follower, in fact, I do go ahead and have it right there on my bullhorn.fm app that comes up right there. Bing, it lets me know every time you come up as far as the new show is concerned. So I'm truly thankful for your success. But I know, as you know, a couple of things have happened in the world of the draft universe in regards to the lottery, and also some measurements that came out very interesting, because I don't know which one is more interesting. Is it the lottery or the draft measurements? Because there was a fervor, obviously with the picks and the way they fell out, but then right after, people started going all over the place. In fact, you were on Twitter as well, remarking about some of the amazing measurements that were there as far as for and against. I know one in particular that could mean a big rise for Sharif Cooper. Could be
no way that's real. No way that's real. He grew 4 inches.
So I changed it in my mock to 6'4", because I know what he was with or without shoes. But again, that's subject to change.
It has to be. He's like the same size as like Josh Christopher and Jason Preston and James Bouknight. I mean, I would have thought that he was going to measure out shorter. Like if you would have told me he measured out at 5'11", 165, I would have believed you. But 6'4", I'm not going for it.
Great playmaker. I just worry about his shot. That's why he's still low on my mock draft, although I do anticipate him rising on mine and a lot of other people's mock drafts because I know he's become a favorite of a lot of analysts such as yourself.
Yeah. I mean, if he's 6'4", then you got to consider him a lottery pick.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you on that. But my friend, there was the lottery. I mean, again, the measurements seemed almost as interesting as the lottery itself yesterday, but there was a few changes that were made. It wasn't, I think, the big dramatic push I think a lot of people were hoping for. The big movers were, of course, Detroit moving up a spot into the top spot as far as number one. Houston falling down a spot, but saving themselves a top 4 pick because of the way it fell and did not have to give it up. Cleveland moved up 2 spots, and Toronto moved up 3 spots. I think they were probably the biggest winner out of all this. And as far as who was the losers, well, I mean, you're talking about the Magic losing 2 spots, Oklahoma City, which was, I think, counting on a lot of hope that they were going to go ahead and land a top 4 pick, did not do so, so they fell down. And also the Golden State Warriors, they also fell a spot. But your thoughts initially when they fell out, because it fell out to Detroit, Houston, Cleveland, Toronto, Orlando, Oklahoma City, and Golden State. Your thoughts initially on, just what went on? Initially, did you have a reaction as far as surprise, shock? Was there any big winners or losers? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's trending right now in regards to that, but I wanted to hear your thoughts personally on what went on with the NBA lottery.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is that I want to say like the last game of the season, if the Thunder would have lost that game, they would have had the same number of ping pong balls as Detroit or something like that.
Yeah, Pokusevski is the name. Poku is the name right now all over the place. A lot of people are blaming him in Oklahoma right now.
I mean, but that's what you get for tanking, So I'm, the basketball gods say, we're not going to allow you to get this pick. So I don't know. I
love Pokusevski.
Yeah,
I love his style.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I was there for his breakout performance in Greece a couple years ago. So, and I feel like last year during draft time, I was able to get a lot of, I guess, publicity because I was talking about him first. I want to say like I was one of the first to do like not one. I mean, I'm sure he had other videos out there, but like a real NBA draft breakdown on him. I think I did it like in January of 2020. So the draft wasn't until November, and his name started buzzing late in the spring. So I definitely got a lot of views off Pokusevski. So I always feel like I'm connected to him in some way. But man, he may have cost them. But I mean, I don't know. It's like, do you take him out? If you take him out, I mean, you're playing him even when he's shooting like 30% from the floor. So,
and I know it was mentioned recently that they were talking about if Mobley and Christian Wood get back to back. Was it you or someone else mentioned that if if Houston does end up picking Evan Mobley at the number 2 spot, that he would be part of one of the thinnest. Front course. Yeah. I was thinking to myself, no, I think Pokusevski and Moses Brown, I think that was just a little bit thinner.
Yeah. I mean, Wood and Mobley might not weigh 500 pounds combined.
I definitely know Moses Brown and Pokusevski don't weigh 500 pounds combined.
I think Moses Brown he's
220, 240.
Well, he's in Boston now. So
yeah, he's in Boston now, but I'm just saying, yeah. Those two were pretty thin as well.
Yeah, they definitely were pretty thin. Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, you were right on Pokusevski. I was on early as well. I was really fascinated by all the things he can do, plus the fact he's a great playmaker. But yeah, again, like you said, you live by the tank, you die by the tank. And Oklahoma City, unfortunately, well, they've got 500 picks over the next 5 years, so they're pretty good. Don't feel sorry for Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City fans, don't be mad at me. But Oklahoma City, you've got a ton of future. Your future looks really good with all those picks on the way.
You think so? I mean, we said the same about Boston, and
I think
Boston.
Presti's a better GM than Ainge.
I mean, says the guy that got rid of James Harden. Because
Yeah, that's true.
what
Everybody,
did they get from the James Harden deal? Like what? Like can we name maybe Steven Adams, like Jeremy Lamb? Like they got nothing. He got fleeced on that.
okay, touche there. Ainge, I've never been high on. I thought he always made mistakes right and left, but even though he did draft Brown and Tatum, but yeah, that's like you said, touche on that one with Sam Presti. He's only had one finals appearance, I think, under his regime. So,
And he
yes,
broke it up.
Yes, and he broke it up. Yeah, it serves him right indeed. But again, I wanted to hear your thoughts on, obviously Detroit is the big winner in all this, with obviously going to get Cade Cunningham unless something dramatic happens, which I don't anticipate happening. Right, all appearances are looking at Cade Cunningham for Detroit. Do you think that's going to be a good fit? I mean, you've been high on Killian Hayes, and he has yet to really break out due to injuries, and he really didn't get a chance to play much in his first year. Do you really see that as a good fit between Killian Hayes and Cade Cunningham?
Yeah. I mean, Killian's gonna have to fit. I mean, I don't think in the beginning it will be, especially if Cade is gonna have the ball in his hands. Killian is gonna have to work on, catch and shoot, but. He's got plenty of time this summer to work on it, get healthy, and I mean he's going to have to fit. If not, then they're going to ship him out of town because right now it looks like they're going to hand the keys to Cade, and rightfully so.
So getting up into the top four, I think that's going to really land them a great pick. Whether it's Jalen Suggs or Jalen Green, or if Evan Mobley drops that low. That's the question I think that a lot of people are having right now is Jalen Green seems to be rising high on a lot of draft boards. Is he? Do you think he might sneak into that number 2 spot with Houston?
I don't know. I mean, that's where I think it's going to get interesting because a lot of people have Mobley number 2. I have Mobley number 2.
He's a great player, does a lot of great things, but again, we're living in a different world now in the NBA.
Well, I mean, we say that, and just a year ago, everybody thought Suns made a mistake with Ayton.
Yeah.
I mean, Jokic won MVP. Embiid, Philly, if Ben Simmons had a pulse, probably would have won that series against the Hawks. So, a lot of people say the center position is dead, but if you can switch out and defend, which I think a lot of scouts like about Mobley is that he can defend. I think that he can be a piece on a competitive team. So, the MVP voting was who was number 1? Jokic, obviously number 2 was Embiid.
Yes.
So, I mean, we talk about the centers dead, and 2 of the 3 top MVP votes were from a center. Anthony Davis is a center no matter how much he tries to fight it. To me, he is a center, and the Lakers won a championship with a center. And, and Ayton is showing that, right now he could be he could be the future as far as a top 5 center in the NBA. I think after this postseason, he's going to establish himself in that area. So I think it may have been too early to say that the center position is dead. So I think this helps Mobley.
The one other thing I want to ask you on this, actually two, I should say, and as we discuss the NBA lottery, and once again, I'm with my good friend, Mr. Rafael Barlowe from NBA Draft Junkies and the Locked On NBA Draft podcast. He's not just the guy who does the outros to my first commercial. Just want to make sure everybody knows that, even though he's on every episode. I always do your outro as our first commercial. Yes, that is him. But I wanted to ask you this. Cleveland is very intriguing because if, let's say, Evan Mobley gets taken at number 2 and Cleveland decides to hold on to his pick, or doesn't decide to trade up, or doesn't decide to trade their pick away for an established player or what have you, it gets very interesting because then it looks most likely they will have to get one of the guards. Jalen Suggs could go for Scotty Barnes. I mean, he's starting to creep up in that top 5 realm. But Jonathan Kuminga, depending on who you speak to, is either in that top 5 or starting to fall out. So most likely it will still be a guard that Cleveland would have to pick. But then again, they have 2 guards already. What do you anticipate happening if you're Cleveland?
That's a tough choice because a lot of people feel like Colin Sexton is a 6-man anyway, or that's the role that he's best suited for, like the Lou Williams role. But how do you
tell a 20-point scorer in the NBA?
24. Yeah, 24. Yeah, I mean, you can say, I think he's pretty mature, but at the end of the day, how do you tell him, like you said,
before his first big contract?
Hey, you've done everything here. You've averaged 24 and you're 30, or you've improved as a shooter. But because of your height, we're going to bring you off the bench for an unproven guy that hasn't done anything yet. So, maybe they'll start him and then bring Jalen Green off the bench. I don't know. I mean, that's going to be a tough thing for Larry Drew. But, if they end up trading Colin Sexton, I know some teams would love to have him. And I think he'd be more open to maybe like a 6-man type role if he goes to a team like Dallas or, I don't know, one of these teams that have been established as a playoff team. I mean, I think Dallas would be a really good fit for him. Whether he comes off the bench or not, Dallas needs another guy that can go out and get buckets on his own. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. But I feel like either way with this draft, I mean, there's so many teams that have been bad for years, and they have a bunch of players that are still on rookie contracts. I feel like you can say the same thing with Orlando.
Yeah,
they have picks 5 and 8, and they have 2 guys that were rookies last year, and Cole Anthony and RJ Hampton. Then you got Markelle Fultz, who they just paid. So if you bring in another guard there, you created a logjam. If you draft a wing at 5, then what do you draft at 8? Because if you draft there's not really a center in that range unless you count Şengün. But you got Wendell Carter and Mo Bamba, who are still in their rookie deals. Those are 2 centers. You got Jonathan Isaac coming back. So it's going to be a lot of redundancy.
Yeah,
pretty much almost anywhere.
That's correct. So it's going to be some very interesting things. And I want to have you come back on in the not too distant future so we can discuss this on one of your many podcast appearances. Hopefully we can arrange that, and definitely look forward to your continued success and your continued updates. But please, everybody check out NBA Draft Junkies on YouTube, NBADraftJunkies.com, and of course, all the great things that he does at the Locked On NBA Draft Podcast. It is my good friend, Mr. Rafael Barlowe. But before we head on out, my friend, I wanted to go ahead and hit you up on this with the NBA playoffs. You spoke about DeAndre Ayton. Obviously, it worked out last night. I mean, he got the lob in from Jay Crowder, and you can goaltend in that situation because it's coming off an out-of-bounds play. Did you realize that rule? I mean, that's something that a lot of people forget about.
No, I didn't realize it until they brought it up today that I guess they called it the Jay Triano play. And he knew it, and it was a play against the Grizzlies. Tyson Chandler had a game-winning alley-oop dunk there. So, no, I didn't realize it until, obviously during the game. But, oh, man, that's a heartbreaking loss for the Clippers. And you have to wonder, like, I don't want to call it luck, but, they've been down 0-2 in their first 2 series. You have to wonder, like, all right, is it going to finally run out? Because you can say they have some help from the referees there, but, they were seconds away from thinking like, we got to split and to lose that. And then, you got to wonder about, the mental health of Paul George missing those 2 free throws. He's already been, at least in my opinion, unfairly criticized. I guess because he called himself Playoff P. If it's a self-created nickname, then you're not going to get a lot of fans for that. But he's played so well this year. He's played well in the playoffs. He played well without Kawhi, and he's kind of like he silenced everybody. And then now, everybody's gonna they have their Playoff P jokes, especially Laker fans. I feel like Paul George has received a lot of heat from Laker fans who would have never hated him or never cared about him until he went to the Clippers.
Well, I think also as well because he shunned them. We talked about his love for LA and Same thing with Kawhi. It was always meant or always believed that love was for the Lakers, but sure enough, it turned out otherwise. And I think that's where a lot of the resentment from Lakers fans comes from. And of course, like you said, Lakers fans are not going to give him an inch.
Well,
And I thought he had overcome that too. I was on my recent shows here, and I had said that I thought he had overcome that pandemic P. But like you said, when he makes those mistakes at the most crucial time, it will always come back on him.
What's crazy is I feel like if the Lakers would have handled the Julius Randle situation better a few years ago, Paul George is a Laker. They waited until after all the money dried up to renounce Julius's rights when he thought he was going to get a big payday. Kind of leaves him out with nothing. He ends up signing like a 2-year, $18 million deal with the Pelicans.
Yes.
And him and Paul George have the same agent. So if it's handled a little bit better, then maybe Paul George is a Laker. But either way, the Lakers won a championship. So, it's hard to, knock what the Lakers have done with their personnel moves because they got them a championship. So
that's true. But unfortunately, our picks didn't work out this year. If you remember our season preview, you had picked Brooklyn, I had picked the Lakers, but we had both picked the finals as both of those teams, and
they weren't healthy.
Yeah, they weren't healthy, and that's
all their guys. All of their guys were hurt except one, except Durant. So
and his shoe size was the only difference there.
Oh yeah, man! And then Joe Harris couldn't buy a basket.
Yeah, he had that wide open three where the ball came right to him, and I was just like, that should have been easy money. But again. Those are things that are going to have to be looked at. People go ahead and hopefully we'll get better. Ben Simmons, that's obviously another thing for another day because what he's going through right now. You got to feel bad for the kid, but
no.
He's got to work. He's got to put his work in the gym there. Yeah,
he doesn't work.
Yeah,
it's funny because I don't want to sound like I'm happy for his failures, but this is one of the things. It teaches
a valuable lesson.
Well, for me personally, this is one of the things I predicted and got 100% right 5 years ago. I had told people that everything that he has going for him is just all natural, God-given talent. And I just was under the impression that he just didn't work, that he felt entitled. And it started with the whole LSU class thing. Like he was like, I don't need to go to class. I'm only going to be here for 1 year. And he just, didn't go to class. And then, he made that whole documentary of painting himself out to be a victim of the NCAA when he's Australian. He didn't have to go to college. If you were American, then he would have, but
just need to play in that pro league in Australia for a year.
Yeah. Or even like Dante Exum didn't do anything. He didn't go to college. So
that's true.
He and they're from the same country. So I feel like I just saw him being entitled. And then I always felt like he was an overrated passer. I thought like he does have the vision, but his assist numbers are what I call bombs, where it's like he'll have a wide open shot and then he'll throw it to someone that has two guys on them, and if they have two guys on them and they miss, then it doesn't affect his stats. But if they make it, he gets the assist for it. I mean, I saw so many plays. Like there's one that comes to mind. I'm not even talking about the wide open dunk attempt, but there's a play early in the game. He drove right, had a wide open layup, and he just kind of like handed it off to George Hill, who got fouled. And it's like he just wants to. I felt like if there's a way. I mean, Rondo was criticized for it, but being selfishly unselfish, where you're passing up opportunities because you pride yourself on being, one of the best or one of the league leaders in assists. So you're hunting assists, which sometimes can put your teammates in bad situations. I mean, same thing with like DeAndre Jordan and rebounds. That's why the Mavs got rid of him. He would just stand under the rim so he can collect rebounds, and he would not step outside to defend or contest the open shot because he would hope they miss. If they miss and he got the rebound, it padded his stats. If they make it, then, it's like he gave up shots. So anyway, I just had this feeling that Ben Simmons was not going to improve, that he was entitled, and that he just wasn't going to work on his game. And he was so set on proving to people like I can win without a jump shot. And then, it finally caught up with him.
Yeah.
But he actually did the same thing in 2019, like in the playoffs versus Toronto. Once the games got tight, he stopped running from the ball and he would just stand at the dunker spot. And that's when everybody was kind of like, oh, he's this, he's that. But I feel like he let his teammates down. So I really can't feel sorry for him because I just don't think he puts in the work at all.
Well, fair enough. Touche on that one because, like you said, last 3 years in the playoffs, his numbers have gone down, and his scoring output is now went from 16 to 14 to 12. I think in this year's playoffs, just truly not what you want to get out of an all-star. But yeah, again, you don't put the work in the gym. This is what happens. So hopefully that'll be a lesson out there to all the people and draft choices coming in. Also to anybody who wants to go ahead and work hard and get into the NBA. But before we head on out, my friend, and before we give you a chance to go ahead and plug what you're doing at NBA Draft Junkies, just after we're recording this is the Milwaukee and Atlanta, the surprising Atlanta Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
That series is coming up. Not a lot of people are picking the Hawks yet. Some are starting to warm to them. I'm starting to warm to them. I don't know if they'll win, but they are going to give Milwaukee a test. I'm going to say Milwaukee in 7, but I'm not going to put anything past the Hawks at this point in time.
I think this is an easy matchup for the Bucks. If you're a Bucks fan, this is the one matchup that you probably were hoping for. And the reason I say that is because they don't have an answer for Giannis. They don't. And then the key to the series to me is Lopez. If he's knocking down open shots, it's going to bring Capella out the paint. And if Capella's out the paint, then Giannis is going to be able to.
What if Capella plays Giannis though?
Well, I don't think. I mean, do you want Capella defending way out on the perimeter?
But then again, do you want? You've seen what they did with Brooklyn and how they approached it. They let him go ahead all day at 3-pointers, and then they would go ahead and play off him about 10 feet, which sometimes would be to the disadvantage because it would allow Giannis to go ahead and get that running start on his drives. Yeah. So.
Well, the thing about, I've always felt like Giannis and even Ben Simmons, they're most effective when their teams are getting stops. So with Milwaukee, they always have Giannis as the help guy. He rarely was guarding the best player. And if Joe Harris or KD or somebody missed, now you turn those rebounds into personal fast breaks. And so the reason I think that it would be a tough matchup for Atlanta is because they also have some pretty good defenders that they can throw at Trae Young. And if they're missing jump shots, then those turn into Giannis one-on-one breaks where he's getting a full head of steam.
And can you really count on Kevin Huerter to bail you out each and every time?
No, I mean, he had a size advantage,
somebody else to step up from Atlanta.
Yeah,
that's not necessarily Kevin Huerter, but
Well, I felt like that was on Doc. I mean, you kept putting a smaller guy on him, and even though they would play good defense, he was just shooting over the top of Seth Curry. Bogdan is hurt.
That's a killer.
He's been dealing with the knee issues. So, if you got a guy like Solomon Hill starting, that means Giannis is going to be...
They could sure use DeAndre Hunter right about now.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, if Giannis is guarding Solomon Hill, then he's definitely going to be out there playing free safety and just mucking up things for the Hawks. And then I could see them daring him to shoot. And even with Giannis, everybody was talking about he's taking too many threes, which I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing because he's keeping the defense honest.
Well, it's a double standard, though. If you talk about Ben Simmons and then you talk about Giannis in that same point of view, I mean, you have to. Giannis is shooting, whether you like it or not. He's shooting.
Yeah, well, you never question Giannis's effort, and Giannis is. Some people don't like it when he shoots, but one thing I looked at, like Charles Barkley, this was back in the early 90s, before the NBA went 3-point crazy, used to shoot 3 threes per game. and make like 28% of them. But like Kenny Smith said in the episode, he could make some. So you still had to respect the fact that he was going to make them. Jason Kidd was never a good 3-point shooter until you realize it was too late. Till you're like, whoa, he's top 5. But he kept you honest, because even if he didn't shoot a high percentage, he still may have went 2 for 6. Yeah. Or 2 for 7. But sometimes the ones that he made were timely. I felt like in Game 7, Giannis made a timely 3.
And then, of course, he's not shooting. I guess he's not hurting you enough at the free throw line yet. That's something I think a lot of people need to go ahead and realize. He's not hurt. He's not Ben Simmons level.
No, I mean he's
about 50%.
Yeah, he's definitely not a marksman at the free throw line. But I think for him, because he gets there so many times, that he can't catch a rhythm. And I think it's also different if you're getting fouled because you're being aggressive, or you're getting fouled because the team is literally picking on you. So I think that's a lot different. But I mean, Giannis shoots his air balls. He shoots his bricks from the free throw line. But I think the biggest difference between him and a guy like Ben Simmons is you can never question Giannis's aggressiveness and how hard he plays. And so I think for the Hawks, that's going to be a tough matchup. Then I feel like, guys like Drew Holiday, who struggled all playoffs, finally got it going in Game 7 in the fourth quarter. He may have it going. I mean, he's a great defender himself. And then, I just think they'll be able to throw guys like PJ Tucker to beat up Trey, and then Drew Holiday, kind of wear him down. And then once you wear him down, it kind of makes it difficult for the Hawks offense. And then, like I said about Capella, if Capella's not able to be in the paint and he's off the court because Lopez is spreading the floor, that takes away a lob threat for Trae Young. And it's a huge play in Atlanta's playbook.
Your final prediction then, like I said, I think it's going to be Milwaukee in 7. I think it's going to be a little bit tougher matchup, but your final prediction, my friend?
I got Bucks in 5.
Oh, very easy for them indeed. So could be very well a Milwaukee-Phoenix matchup, maybe trending towards that, but we'll wait and see. But before we
don't count the Clippers out yet. Don't count them out.
Okay. Well, yeah, we like you said, they've been 0-2 before, so they know what they need to do. Yeah,
I thought they were done in round 1. We counted them out after that.
Well, if Paul George becomes playoff P again, you never know. You never know. I mean, absolutely, he could be. He could take the missed free throws to heart and become very determined at this point to go ahead and change the course of the playoffs as we know it. So hopefully we will keep an eye on that as we speak here at the Lakers Fast Break. But before we head on out, my friend, you've got a ton of things along with appearances on other podcasts. You said you got the live show coming up during the draft that people need to check out when that happens. But we got your goal, 100 videos on prospects for the NBA Draft Junkies. By then, everything you want to talk about, the floor is now yours. What's she up to? And will you actually get any sleep in the next couple months?
Yeah, I will. I just got to manage my time and figure out how to
get all this
done, settle off.
Do I have to send reminders to you?
Yeah. I'll figure out a way to eat. It's just a matter of am I eating healthy?
That's a yes, you're right.
Pizza. So, but yeah, I mean, I have the Locked On NBA Draft podcast. It's every Monday and Thursday, which I have to record something tonight so I can have it up in the morning. I still got a thing with Dash, but I don't know how much with everything that I have going on. I don't know if that's actually beneficial for me. Then I got my YouTube channel, NBA Draft Junkies. So I got 90 videos. I got to try to put up 90 videos in the next 37 days. I should have another video or two tonight. It'll be the second half of the mock lottery. So it'll be picks 6 through 14. And then I might have some player prospects. So for the guys that are first round picks, I do like the voiceovers and the breakdowns. But the guys who I think are more so second round picks, then I'll just kind of, have like the different graphics explaining what I like. And that's about it. So got to update the site. And so I can have all my latest information, the latest videos, and my latest mock up there. But it's a pretty busy time.
It's a pretty busy time for you indeed. But my friend, I wish you continued success. It is Rafael Barlowe from NBA Draft Junkies. Follow him on YouTube. Follow his page, NBADraftJunkies.com, and of course his awesome podcast Mondays and Thursdays. Correct?
Yep. And I need you on sometime next week.
You got me, man. You just tell me. You know it. I've been waiting. You saw I hope you got a chance to see my mock draft that's already right now available on Lakerholics.com, PopCultureCosmos.com, and also the Hoopheads Podcast Network.
I got the notification, but it was late. It was late Central Time, and then I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
Well,
but I definitely look at it.
I was changing all the teams, so
yeah, I had to literally just redo my whole page.
Yeah, it's just mock draft 1.0. It's again, we're going to be doing this, shifting all over the place. But Rafael, love to have you back on. As always, coming on in the near future, talking the NBA draft and also NBA basketball as well. We might get you on before the finals or during the finals to talk about that. So see that matchup. So yeah, there you go. Not the finals matchup we were expecting, but should be a good finals matchup nonetheless. It is my good friend, Mr. Rafael Barlowe. I cannot thank you enough as always. Please, everyone out there that's listening to this, check him out as far as all the stuff that he's doing. Check out all of his appearances at Barlowe 500 and at NBA Draft Junkies. At Barlowe 500 is probably the one I think of the two that you need to check out a little bit more because he updates everything on there. All of his appearances, all the stuff that he's working on, all the stuff that he's taking care of right there for the NBA draft. So it is at Barlowe 500 and at NBA Draft Junkies on Twitter. My friend, I just wish you continued success. I'll be talking to you soon. And it's just awesome, man. Every time I gush over you because all the success you had since we started this thing, man, because you've just been so successful. And again, continued success. And I look forward to having you on very soon right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.